Back regular session. Okay, thank you. Let's talk about how we work with the county a little bit as far as, when we have staff contact the county and communicate with them, you know, how does the tax sale occur? And how, if we did want to buy something with tax sale, how the city could do that. The other question I'd have while you're talking to the county is, these specific properties, when will they go to tax sale? Is there a specific date?
Not yet. It's not set yet, but it sounds like it's going to be like in October. One other thing to talk, I'd like to talk to the county about. I'm sitting here looking at the taxes, and it suddenly dawns on me, somebody, if the person in lot 10 gave us the lot, well, they have a taxable event because they've got a forgiveness of $17,000. And I don't know what happens on the county side. I've never tracked it. I know that if I buy the lot, I get it clean. But if you owe the 17 grand, do you have a taxable event when it gets wiped? I don't know. But that would be something to know for two reasons. You know, one, I really don't want to go out and tell people, here, we'll help you out, and then also
here's a 1099 at the end of the year.
Yeah. It's like with the city, you know, we have what's called a state set-off program where we file, and if anybody do a tax refund from the state, we can offset that. You know, if they owe money this quarter or something like that. So I don't know what the county does with that. We'll have to investigate it because, like you said, we don't want to come in there and say, hey, we're the White Knights. We're going to, you know, we'll even give you $500 to walk, you know, the property, but then they get hit with the 1099 for 17,000. That's not going to, somebody could raise a stink about it. We're trying to do that. We're not here to provide tax advice to people, but I think we need to know what the effect of it is.
We need to know the basic givens, because the other side of the coin would be, and we've done this, is you donate a lot to me, and it's got a tax value or a market value of 10 grand. You give it to me, you can write that off.
Well, I don't know if that's correct, because you have to look at the tax basis of the lot.
Well, it's the fair market
Bill
value.
that.
It is not the tax basis, but you can use the tax basis just because, in theory, county value is fair market value.
Yeah, but you can't donate to the city, write it off. You'd have to donate to a charitable organization.
The city is a nonprofit. We've done it.
I always.
We do it all the time. And the thing is, and we have folks, if you got a big piece and you want to go get an appraisal, you know, I've big numbers.
Most of the people that own these, are they the previous homeowner, or are they investors, or if they're investors, I don't think we have to worry about, are we looking at their side of the deal tax wise? I mean, they're big boys and girls that make those decisions, maybe.
In past experience, and it's been 20 years ago, we did something kind of like this, where we bought a bunch of lots and moved a bunch of houses, sold them. The folks we were buying from were, you know, homeowners. There was an awful lot of people that they had went and picked the lot off a tax sale and then waited for somebody to come help them out. It didn't happen, and so now it's going to tax sale again. But by and large, we did not find a lot of true investor types. You know, if somebody was buying something for an investment, it was very small players that just, you know, it's got to be, you know, I can get it for $500. It's got to be worth that. Now there's exceptions, but when we did this before, we probably bought 40, 50 lots. By and large, it was pure individuals.
Well, so there is something in our policies, our admin policy guidelines in section 13 that says we're not going to determine donation value for tax purposes. So we can't issue them a letter. Anyway.
Well, no, we don't issue a letter.
They do that.
They turn in a form, and we would have to see if donating to the land bank counts. But like with the city, you turn in a form and all we do is say we're going to use it for public purpose for 5 years, check. And if we don't, we'll call you. Then they fill it back.
You know, the other thing, if whatever we do, we have to make it subject to approval of city council. We don't have the authority to actually acquire it.
That's why we'd have to have, like, if we're going to tax sale, again, procedure wise, probably have to go to executive session with council saying we want to go to tax sale on these 3 properties. And we want to have authority to bid up to $1,000 on them or something like that, because that would be, we wouldn't be able to buy them over there contingent upon council approval. So
I'm interested to see what this conference might go. Because
I mean,
we got to figure some stuff
hopefully
out.
we've learned some things that they've.
Yes. It's just get frustrated trying to get something and kind of have all these little holes you got to figure out. It's little pitfalls.
A lot of them.
Well, do we want to ask staff to go ahead and move forward on any of the 5 properties that we were discussing? Or do we
I would
want?
say yes, let's do something.
I say yes, specifically number.
You said number 1, didn't you? You said the house.
A maximum price we can negotiate either before the tax sale or at the tax sale?
Or in the case of number 10, we know that they're interested in possibly selling. If you want to set a maximum amount that we could go to council for approval to sell that property.
Could you buy it from?
Buy that property.
with the understanding that, like, once we get the title commitment, if something pops up that we haven't been able to kind of find out about,
Yeah.
we're gonna come back here. It would have to be awfully clean before we would.
What's this, is it condemned or is it on the first one that's boarded up?
It's just boarded up.
No MABCD
We
case.
looked at it at all?
Yeah, we could. do a visual check.
What's the address on that one?
You fix it up or you have to tear it down?
Well,
There's definitely some roof damage
Okay.
to that property. The garage is boarded up and then windows are boarded up as well. The foundation looks okay. If you take a look at the neighborhood and property evaluation sheets that we shared the folder, there's actually pictures and a property evaluation filled out on that property too.
one thing I would say about the first 5 properties, if they have the same owner, is there's an apparent pattern. These all went to tax sale in 2012 and got redeemed. They went to tax sale in 17 and got redeemed. You know, got to this stage and then got paid back, paid down. So I'm wondering if it's not going to be the same pattern, that she's not going to be that interested in selling it because she's just going to pay all the back due tax. But we can call.
And my only thought is this is the only one she has that's boarded up.
Yeah.
That so this one she might say,
We boarded up, city did.
she did.
She did.
She did.
I mean, I have no problem just starting with 7, 8, 10. And not deal with number 6, which is the demo house. At this time, just see what we can do on 7, 8, and 10, and
Title issue.
6. I would propose that we make an offer to acquire 7, 8, 10 for a maximum of $500 each, subject to approval by city council, clear title, and all the rest of the stuff. So I would say, Jeff, let's look at, have a conversation. Let's look at drafting a contract that has all the appropriate outs. Go from there.
You want to give them some latitude of 500 to 1,000 instead of having them come back, they say no.
About $1 to 1,000.
I'm sorry, Sally, would
But
you,
how about $1 to 1,000?
up to,
Yeah, instead of 500, sounds like that's the minimum we're gonna, you know what I'm saying? Is we're gonna absolutely pay people $500 if you say 500 to 1,000.
Well, and we did mail those letters, which also talk about the opportunity to donate too. So maybe these people will come back and be willing to donate.
I'll amend my recommendation to say, I would propose that 7, 8, 10. We contact the homeowners and make an offer of up to $1,000 to acquire property from them, subject to clear title, city council approval, and whatever else normal on a real estate contract. But I would definitely start low and work up.
Title order on that.
That is a
Motion.
that's a formal.
That's a motion. Do I have a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Fine, still.
He is, but if he doesn't speak, then it's assumed to be a yay vote. I will count it. Do you want to make another series of motions related to the possibility of a tax sale? Because it does tend to happen in June, July, or August each year. Dawn thinks it's going to happen in October, but in terms of timing, do you want to make anything related to the tax sale? Because this is, to go on the offensive and reach out to the owner and we'll do title work, of course, but if we can't get in touch with the owner, are these properties that you would possibly want us to try and get out of the tax sale?
I guess I'd prefer to have us try to, I guess couldn't hear everything that you said there, but
If they drop notice, the tax sale is 30 days from today. We need to know, we need to get to council.
We would need a recommendation, or we have to call a special meeting or something.
I think we call a special meeting.
Okay.
We can do that.
If all of a sudden one of these gets to the tax sale, then we'll have a special meeting, figure out what we want to do.
and I'd put a period of performance on your offer.
Yes.
Make it, got 3 of them out there, and that's what we're gonna do. Try to get them.
And I mean, we want to hear back within, what?
90 days.
Oh, no, I'd put it 15, 10, 15.
5 business days. I'd just say 5 business days, or is that too much?
I think they might need to do some investigating. They're not going to know what a land bank is about.
It's too soon.
I said 14 days. So.
14's fine. 2 weeks. I mean,
I don't deal in this, but is that what's reasonable for these people?
It tells us 14 days is considered a reason.
Circumstances, they know where they stand, I believe. If it's getting into some, funny title issues or something like that, they may not know as well, but we're shying away from those things. If they don't know, we're not gonna know either.
Well, they're gonna be thinking too, I mean, this isn't like we're cold calling somebody
Sure.
saying, hey, I see you have a lot. They've been getting notices for 5 years. This bad boy is gonna be sold.
tax sale.
Now, are we gonna physically call them too, or is it just gonna be by mail?
Do what we can. All we have is their address and their name. We can
Just-
try and look
The
up.
only reason I say longer, I know the 14th day, but some of these people have put their head in the sand and they don't open up their mail anymore. They're tired of getting the city and they don't want to open the letter. So I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but if they've been getting that notice for 5 years, they may just throw that letter in, they may not open it.
Evans actually came back undeliverable, so I don't think we have the right address for.
Oh,
Realistically,
no,
driven the neighbor.
sure.
We're focusing on 3 lots that are going to tax sale out of 5,000.
Yeah.
I mean, if we decide we want lots, we can, because that's, we bought a few at tax sale for the infill program, but we went out and identified people and said, hey, we're buying lots. We're buying a limited number of them. If you're interested, you let us know, and we were giving them, I think we gave them 2 weeks back then, because we had a big net. We needed 50 lots and we had 500 folks. And so we just, if you were ready to jump, you jumped.
We're learning every step. I'd say this is a great first step.
Let's try it.
Okay.
Give it a shot, see what happens. If we need a special meeting in between to discuss this, we can call that. How's that? Any other items to be brought forward? If not, we stand adjourned. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you, staff.
Can we get a motion to adjourn?
Right.
We need a motion.
Oh, I get a motion to adjourn? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?